Hello, everyone. Satangat Astrology here. I'm back to keep talking about the USA Pluto return. This is a quickie because I will just speak about the chart of the Pluto return, the first hit, which is February 20th, 2022, pretty soon. So I wanted to just pinpoint a few details that more in depth. Here is the chart that I use. First of all, is a tropical Western, but I also use whole sign houses for countries. So 4th of July, 76, 1710 or 5 p.m., 5:10 p.m. So let me share now the transit chart that I prepared to compare it with, let me close this one and get this one full screen. Okay, so here we have a chart with the transits, and you see Pluto 2733, which is the exact position of the Pluto, natal Pluto, although the natal chart has Pluto retrograde, which the real, very real Pluto return will be when Pluto gets back retrograde. And I didn't calculate that, but I will do a follow-up video about that. Anyways, but here we have the chart for February 20th, 2022, pretty soon after the full moon in Leo. And the moon phase is a trine, a closing trine. Here you have the moon and the sun. And we see, first of all the major transits are at the bottom of the chart. What that means is that all the work that the country is doing with this Pluto return is reviewing and coming back to the essentials, to the base, very base bottom of the deep intimate part of the country's personality, right? We have 3 planets transiting the 4th house, which is the most let's say unconscious, if you like, part of the identity of the country. And then we have 2 planets in the 3rd house, which is about communications and media and contracts, etc. And then the 2nd house, we have 3 planets. And the 2nd house is, of course, the treasury, the wealth of the country, and the economy and the financial solvency of the country. And then we have the 5, Chiron is actually preparing for the Chiron return. And then we have Uranus transiting the 6th house of conflicts and things that are not doing well, the things that are out of balance and we need to fix. The moon then is in the 11th house of alliances and also the legislation of the country. So, but we see, as I mentioned before, the moon phase is disseminating, meaning that we already saw the culmination of this moon cycle in Leo, right? The Leo full moon. And now we're assimilating by dissemination of this, the cycle that started in Aquarius. So the new moon, this new moon was in Aquarius, right, on the 3rd house. And so for the country, the new moon, the moon cycle, it's all about communications, media, information, contracts, and transportation, right, and everything that has to do with movement, internet, and such. and also the ideas, the way the country thinks, the way in general people think, the ideas they have and share and communicate. So so this new moon was about that, and we are now assimilating that in the sign of Libra, which is all about, the moon here is all about relationships, right? Relationship with whomever. In general, it could be relationships with other parties or other countries, etc. But see, we have the ruler of Libra in the second house, so definitely this moon, it is talking about the people focusing on the finances of the country. And it might be that as we have already heard in the news, that Congress and the president, they are all talking about how do we manage the financial situation at the moment with inflation, and with the economy and recession, etc. So all those issues that have to do with the economy, the treasury, the wealth of the country, resources, etc. So and Venus also rules the sixth house here, and rules, it's over Uranus, right? So we see that these things that are out of balance on any of the areas that could be out of balance in the country are related to the money, to the finances, to the economy, to how things work on the everyday functioning of life. And also it has to do, of course, because the sixth house is related to health, and healthcare, and the healthcare system, and healing, right? So it's evidently that the health problem that we are going through is affecting majorly the wealth of the country and the economy. Plus Venus is together with Mars, which it really inflames the problems in the sixth house and in the 11th house. So it is Mars that is activating this Venus, and is activating the activity of legislative forces or institutions in order to do something about it, right? So and Mars's activity is going forward and executing the all the rules and regulations, Capricorn, right, that relate to these areas that I just mentioned. So of course Pluto is activating the values. First of all, the transformation of the values, and Pluto is a force to reckon with, I would say. Having Pluto in the second house, it means that there are things that are not too the country is not very proud of, I would say, in regards to its values, right? And of course, there are many of those subjects on the table right now in the public sphere that nobody ignores. So racism, discrimination of all kinds, problems with Semitism, economic discrimination, problems, all kinds of irregular or not very moral issues, right? And since Pluto rules the 12th house, many of the things happen behind the scenes, right? Things, as I said, that, and of course, Scorpio is a very secretive sign. So those things are kept under the rug, under the carpet. We don't want to show them. The country is ashamed of those values, right? But interesting enough, we have, during the Pluto return, we have the nodal axis, the south node of the moon in Scorpio. So we are purging, we are letting go of many of those Pluto issues in the second house, or values, shameful values. We are leaving them behind, because the south node, and I want to clarify that this is not the true node. I use the true node. Unfortunately, the software doesn't show the true node, doesn't give me the option to choose the true node. So but the true node is 27 something, so it's not far away, but it's 27 anyways. But what I'm saying is that the south node in the 12th house is helping the country purge of those things that are obsolete, that are toxic, right? Scorpio, that are undermining those self-undoing things that the country is doing, and hidden deals, and the secret dealings that the country has, and those are being extirpated, or drained, or let behind and let go. So, but obviously, since the north node is in the 6th house, that is causing the country to go into things that are not working well, that needs to be fixed, and starting by the social concerns, right? For example, welfare, healthcare issues, and all that. So we will have 18 months of the nodes traveling the Taurus, Scorpio signs, in order to review those things that are not working well, right? So the 6th and 12th house are, why is the axis of health and healing, is because those are the houses where things are not properly functioning, and then they need to be repaired, right? And Uranus is there to give us flashes of illuminations and discoveries, all of a sudden insights into the things that are not doing well. So another detail that is important to understand is this Mercury conjunct the natal south node of the moon. That is very significant because, of course, Mercury in Aquarius is it could be very brilliant and very intelligent. However, conjunct the south node of the moon, the country needs to take care of business. Issues from the past will come, and they will need to contract, for example, agreements, deals will need to be completed and tied up, logistics, and there will be challenges in the area of information, the news, data collection. Is very possible that there could be cyber attacks that could affect the internet functioning. But at the same time, all of a sudden, past ideas that are no longer useful contracts that have been from the past, and they need now a revision, and all those imbalances and things that from the past that are not current anymore will be significant with this, as well as resolving or updating communication data, documents, and the Mercury in the third house is the proper house, the house of the ideas and the thinking, of the country, and the perception of the environment as well. So it will be a new perception of the environment that will cause the country to leave behind the old ideas, right? Those ideas, they are decadent, and that they're not useful anymore. Other things that could happen with Mercury on the south node is that it could discourage short distance travel, and that may be due because of the price of oil that is going up, and other factors. There could be also climate, or it could also be problems with the internet not functioning well, frustration and mishappenings in the internet and internet connections, and also the houses ruled by Mercury could experience frustrations. One of them is the 10th house, which represents the executive power and the party governing, currently governing. So there might be lots of frustration and mishappenings to and from the executive branch of the government, and as well as the partners or the opposing the people or countries opposing this country could also be have so frustrations and mishappenings can come from enemies or people or countries opposing the United States. Another transit that is hugely important, it's starting now, it is 10 degrees apart or so, is Saturn transiting the moon, and the moon at the bottom of the chart, right? The most crucial part of the chart, the most let's say intimate part of the chart, and so Saturn transiting the moon will increasingly bring the adversity for people. So this is every 29, 30 years, 28 to 30 years, Saturn transits the moon. And if you go back, you can see that last time was 1993, 1994. And I'm not, I don't have the news present at this time, but if you are old enough, you may remember 30 years ago what happened. It was not a very happy time for whatever reason, but people may have to suffer for whatever reason. It could be because of the communications problems, because also Saturn restricts in this case it could be internet or phone communications or any other communication. It could restrict Saturn in the third house can be restricting the media, which is already doing, right? So people may suffer the consequences of that, meaning that whatever happens in the media is affecting what the people think. So people may suffer for believing fake news, for example, or believing things that are posted on media, on the social media, and misleading in some way the people. But in general, people will not be satisfied. It will lack nurturance. There might be hunger in some parts of society, scarcity, and such. So Saturn on the moon is not a happy transit. If you have undergone this transit on your personal chart, you may know. For the country, it applies to the common people, you know. And what else? Pretty soon, the country will also experience another Chiron return in the 5th house, but we already have experiencing this. You know, the places of enjoyment are closed or require wearing a mask or being vaccinated and such and such. So it's the house of joys and enjoyment and entertainment. So Chiron transiting Aries in the 5th house, it's like a party that has been watered down, you know. So I think I touched all the elements on this chart. I want to share also the progress chart. So you see the progress chart in, let me see, again, I need to close this one so I can see the other one. So here. I know you see it, but I don't. Okay, so here is the progressed chart for the same date, February 20, 2022, at the same time. And so the progressed chart has the 10th house come to the 1st house. So which means that the importance of the executive power has come to a prominence. But it has Neptune on the ascendant, so it's kind of confusing, you know. And we have the Sun in Pisces in the 7th house, so there is a focus on others. And also another detail that I wanted to point out was the fact that Pluto is separating from the South Node here. And this is the progress chart. And Mercury is with the moon, so we are seeing how the people are the protagonist of the media, right? In the news, there are many videos and information that come from regular people. And we see Uranus in the midheaven, ruled by this Mercury. So Uranus in the midheaven, anything can happen, right? So surprise, surprise. The North Node is in Cancer, in the 11th house. So what I wanted to point out most importantly is that Pluto at 2929. So you see the Pluto return will be lingering for a long time, because the natal Pluto is at 27 degrees, but the progressed Pluto is at 29, which means that it will last for 3 years very easily. So it won't be until 2025, 2026 when we really will see the country on the other side of this, on the other side of the Pluto return, when we really will see the results and the outcome of what the Pluto return has brought to the country. Okay, so I thank you for watching, and I hope you got some ideas to play with in your mind. And thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you like my videos, and I'll see you next time.